Ham radio, two simple words, but behind them is a legacy of innovation, service, and connection that stretches back over 100 years. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to HamShackTV. I'm your host, Josh, AA4WX. Hope you had a great Easter weekend if you're watching this shortly after Easter at the time of the recording. Otherwise, hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below for more great information about ham radio and ham radio events nationwide. So what exactly is ham radio? At its core, it's amateur radio, a personal, non-commercial service authorized by the Federal Communications Commission that allows licensed individuals to communicate over radio frequencies for the purpose of education, experimentation, emergency response, and good old-fashioned conversation. But calling it a hobby doesn't quite do it justice. Ham radio is a tool, it's a lifeline, it's a community. And in a world that's increasingly digital, increasingly automated, and increasingly fragile, ham radio is more relevant today than ever before. Let's break it down. Ham radio operators, better known as hams, are people who take the time to learn about radio technology, get licensed, and operate stations capable of talking across the street or across the globe. Unlike your cell phone or the internet, ham radio doesn't rely on infrastructure. If the towers fail, the power grid fails, ham radio is still there. That's not science fiction. That's been proven again and again in real-world disasters. During Hurricane Katrina in 2005, when 911 was overloaded and conventional systems failed, ham radio operators relayed emergency traffic and coordinated rescues. In the aftermath of the September 11th attacks in 2001, it was ham radio operators providing communication between relief agencies, from earthquakes to tornadoes, fires to floods. When everything else goes dark, ham radio lights up. But it's not just about emergencies. Ham radio is experimentation. It's where wireless pioneers cut their teeth long before Wi-Fi was a thing. It's a place where you can build your own antennas, bounce signals off of satellites, the moon, or even Aurora Borealis, better known as the Northern Lights. It's a place where digital meets analog, where Morse code still thrives, alongside cutting-edge digital modes like FT8 or FreeDV. It's also international. With a modest setup, you can speak to someone in Japan from your backyard here in the United States. No internet, no subscription. Just your call sign and some good propagation. But maybe most importantly, ham radio is community. Local clubs, national nets, public service events, all driven by volunteers, by folks who simply love the art of communication. You're never alone in ham radio. There's always someone listening. Always somebody ready to answer your CQ. Now, some people ask, why would I need ham radio when I have a smartphone? And that's a fair question. But here's the truth. Smartphones are convenient. Ham radio is resilient. Your phone is only as good as the infrastructure supporting it. Ham radio is infrastructure. And let's not forget fun. There's the thrill of your first contact and working a rare DX station, in chasing grid squares or earning Worked All States awards. There's satisfaction in soldering together your first kit, in setting up your mobile shack, in tuning it to a distant station and realizing that's your voice bouncing all around the globe. And it's not just for the older crowd. Younger hams, teenagers, kids are now discovering the hobby through things like Meshtastic, digital voice hotspots, and software-defined radios, better known as SDRs. There's an entire generation blending ham radio with coding, 3D printing, and maker culture. So where do you begin? It starts with a license. In the United States, there are 3 license classes. There's the technician, the general, and the extra class licenses. You don't need to know Morse code anymore thanks to resources like Ham Radio Prep. Getting licensed is easier than ever. And yes, I do have a coupon code in the description. And that coupon code is HamShackTV. Ham Radio Prep is incredible. I want you to go check them out. HamRadioPrep.com and use coupon code HamShackTV for an additional 10% off. They're so confident they can help you pass your license test, they offer a money-back guarantee. It's HamRadioPrep.com and use coupon code HamShackTV for 10% off. Once you've got your call sign, the airwaves are yours to explore within your given band plan, that is. Whether you want to provide emergency comms, chase DX, run portable on a mountaintop, or just check into a nightly net with your local crew, there's a place for you in ham radio. We live in a time when face-to-face connection is rare, where most communication is filtered through screens and algorithms. Ham radio cuts through the noise. It's real people using real equipment in real time. It teaches patience, discipline, and self-reliance. It fosters curiosity and technical skill. It builds bridges between generations, nations, and neighbors. So what is ham radio? It's more than a hobby. It's a heritage, a tool, a mission, and a passion. And why is it relevant today? Because the world is more connected and more fragile than ever before. And when the chips are down, you want something you can count on. You want a network that doesn't require permission, a voice that cuts through the static, a community that shows up when it matters most. That's ham radio. Live, learn, transmit. Welcome to the Shack. This is Ham Shack TV. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. 73's AA4WX, WSCB 693.